Yeah.
Right. Right. You don't have it handy?
Well, I do have one.
Is it okay if we look at it?
Yeah, I can find it. I don't think we printed them off yet.
Oh, okay. Well, don't worry about it. Cover letter is what? Over here, what did we say?
Like a summary of your skills and like highlights and stuff.
This is what has to happen with the cover letter. It has to draw the interviewer in. The person, one of the decision makers, it has to draw them in. You need to find something that will connect. That's what we talked about first hour, second hour. We talked about connecting. I don't care if it's 1 or 1,000 when I'm speaking, I have to connect. When you're doing an interview process, you have to connect. And if it's for a bigger company like General Mills or something like that, you're going to interview with 3 different people at least. You're going to interview with the department that's going to hire you. You're going to interview with human resources. And then you might interview with someone else inside the department. You got one?
I think this is it.
Can I look at it?
Sir Brummel, the one I did about the Vikings, is that the cover letter thing? Yeah. It's just like.
Oh, this is cool. So we're going to Ziggy here, huh? What are we flying for, quarterback?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you found a hot spot with Ziggy. He needs a quarterback, right? Oh, you are applying for quarterback. Oh, I was joking. That's great. This is excellent. This is exactly how you write a cover letter. Because the first thing you want to do is you got to bait the hook, and then you got to get the hook. Very good. Very good. But you got to get the hook in. How do you do that? You talk about Ziggy. You know he needs a quarterback. The Vikings are struggling at the quarterback position. You need a quarterback. So you go there and you bait the hook, right? And then you summarize why you would be perfect for that position. You get into why you'd be perfect for it. How do you do that? You have to do research. In today's work environment, you must do research. You must get out there. Go research the company. Google the company. Drive by the company. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. But you need to understand this company. And then it's like a big game. It's like a sales game. You're going to put in that cover letter. That's the first thing to get them to your resume. This is why I'm so great. This is why you need me. Right? This is why I'm important. This is why I will help. I need to know what's in it for me. What are you going to do to help me? Why should I hire you? Not because you want to be quarterback. So, big deal. So does Gus Farad. He's trying. He's trying.
He's doing the best an old man can.
That's right. He's doing all right. He's doing all right. But you see what I'm saying? You have to say what's in it for me. Or me, the guy that's going to do the hiring. That's what's in it for you. Because let's face it, they don't really care. They're trying to get the best person for that job. They don't really care. They don't even know you yet. So how can they really care about you? They don't really. So what you need to do is show them why they should care about you. And this stuff in this book is going to help. The cover letter is basically to a specific person. It's not to the company. You know, you're not writing a letter, Dear General Mills, I've eaten Cheerios my whole life and it's been the greatest experience I've ever had. You know, that's not going to get you the job. What's going to get you the job is you're going to go to that person at General Mills that's going to hire you. And when you talk to that person, you're going to say, Corey, I would be perfect for this position because I have experience in running this type of machine, and I'm very efficient, I'm very mechanical, I have a mechanical aptitude if you're going for a machine type job. That's why I say these resumes have to be rewritten. Every single time. My wife has worked at General Mills for years. She's had many different jobs at General Mills. They do internal posting before they go outside the company. She still has to do a resume inside the company. If they went through her personnel file, she's probably got 10 different resumes in that personnel file that I've rewritten for her 10 different times. And I took the job that was posted, found out what they're looking for as far as qualifications, and I put that in that top paragraph, summary of qualifications. Put it right in there. And then I go down and what job has she had? And I put the job she's had, how long has she had the job? Put it in there. And then the bullet points I put underneath it, more qualifications that fit the job description. I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done. You're telling a story with that resume. They want to know. They want to, in a snapshot, know everything about your work career. So they want to say, Dave Durham, works for Dave Durham Seminars, professional speaker. I've spoken for this company, did this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done. So they're seeing, okay, this is all the way down to where I got started. And then what's the next line? The next job I had, and the transition to that job, from that job. And you go down in bullet points. This is what. But you want those bullet points to match the job description. So a light goes off in here with that interview person. So that person goes, oh, this guy is great. This gal is great for the job. The cover letter starts that process. Excellent cover letter. Did you teach them that? Outstanding. Outstanding. That's good. I think you got a shot. Get that in the mail, will you? And send it FedEx. That's something else. Always you want to look today, how will we stand out? A lot of what's going on today is you're doing a lot of emailing with resumes, so it's harder to stand out. But I had to send a resume off and a one-page off, and I had to send a demo DVD of some of my speaking off yesterday. Now you can send it U.S. mail, you can send it priority mail, send it any way you want. I sent it FedEx. She said, do you want it delivered in the morning or the afternoon? What would you want? The morning. Boom, I want to hit it right there. I want the guy to go, whoa, this is pretty important. You want to stand out. You want to get noticed. It's important. And then when you go in on that job interview, that's what I want to talk about now, is there's some key points to this job interview. Let's go through on page 6. I want to go through some of these. Some of these apply more than others, but let's talk about this. The first one is dress neatly, be groomed appropriately. Would that be common sense? That would apply, right? If you're going for a job to be a diesel mechanic, do you want to go dressed like I am right now? No, right? They're going to be, what's with this slick Willie? You can't turn a wrench. What the heck? But if I'm going for a speaking job, then I probably do want to be dressed like this. Why do you think the politicians, we talked about it in a second, the politicians, when they're in Iowa talking to the farmers, or Minnesota talking to the farmers, they're wearing a flannel shirt, some jeans, boots, sitting down there, I'm like you. Vote for me, because they're on a job interview. There was a job interview, a big one. Barack Obama and John McCain were on a job interview. Barack got hired, John McCain didn't. A lot of different reasons why. But it's going to come down to likability and connectability. That's why. I think they're both probably pretty doggone good guys. But that's why you got to connect. So how do you do that? You need to research the company. Find out, how do people dress at that company? And how do they dress in that department at that company? And then you want to be at the top end of that. So how do you do that? You can go and research it. Go check out the company. Find out, how do they dress? I want to look like those guys. Because that's what they're going to feel comfortable with. If they see you in that job interview and you look like the guy that's interviewing you, subconsciously he's saying, yeah, he's like us. That's the guy I'm going to hire. He's like us. But if you're not dressed appropriately, they're not comfortable with that. I was speaking at a school in Minneapolis. And the teachers dress pretty casual, right? That's a good thing. But I'm dressed like this. This is how I dress when I go speak. And it's a big school, and they got big round tables in the teacher's lounge. So I went in the teacher's lounge, and they probably had 8 tables in there. And I was the only one in there. At first, I had like a 2-hour break before I had to speak again. I wasn't going to go anywhere. And I'm sitting in this teacher's lounge, and all these teachers filtered in and out through those 2 hours on their lunch breaks. And I sat at this big round table, and at several points in those 2 hours, every table was filled with teachers. Talking to them, going through all their stuff, right? More like you guys than you realize. And I look around, and I purposely didn't say anything. And I said, not one teacher would sit at that table with me. Not one teacher said hi to me. I mean, if I looked at them and I said hi, then they would say hi back. But not one teacher sat at that table. Why is that? What do you think? Yeah, right. Because they didn't feel comfortable. They didn't know who I was. And they were the ones that hired me did, but they didn't know who I was. They weren't comfortable. Well, sit with that guy. He might be from the Department of Education or something. Maybe he's from the FBI. I don't know, maybe he's some crazy dad. Let's just sit there and see what we do on our lunch breaks. I don't know. But that applies in a job interview. You need to do some research. It's very competitive out there right now. Very, very competitive. Let's go down to line 2. Arrive 15 minutes before your interview. Try to actually drive the route the day before, if that's practical. Now, I travel across the United States doing speaking, so that's not always practical for me to do that. But if I'm in a location where the hotel, I'm speaking in the hotel where I'm staying and I get in the night before, I will go down there and check out the room before. Check out everything I can, even without the person that hired me yet being there to show me the ins and outs of it. So if you can drive, and it's not practical always for me to drive to the schools because I speak all over, but if I can drive that school, if that school's in my area, I want to drive and see where the visitor parking is. Now, you have great visitor parking, you have great school here, but I go to some schools in the outer areas